p.m. on April 4th, 2016. And what I'm going to do is show you how I'm trying to make my next Giantess video. I'm the guy who made a lot of these years ago, and I used Poser 7 back then, and it looked like I had a lot of views. I had a lot of controversial likes and dislikes, and you know, I take them as they come. And so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of do a live, hopefully later on editable stream, which will turn into a later on editable broadcast. What I'm gonna do basically is just run a stream and gonna like give you an idea of what I'm doing in the animation room. This is my model. This is my Cincha model that I used in past postings. Very popular for me and some people who very popular to watch and for me to use. I guess I'm saying it all wrong. It was really popular. A popular posting. And it was my favorite model. She was my favorite doll. And now I have a somewhat 10 or so years, 10 plus years. I think I have a little over 10-year older progression. So it's an age progression doll. So this is going to be, I'm going to introduce Cincha to my new page, and I'm about to develop more, so I'm about to ramp up my animations again. I have Poser 9. It's the only upgrade I have. I'm using a computer that I bought near the end of my postings, the last era that I posted around 2011, 2012. I started using my Sony i7. I still have my Sony i7, and I have my Hewlett Packard Pavilion, my HP Pavilion. It does not seem to be able to run the software like my Sony i7, and my i7 has some old hardware. It's definitely showing some aging. As you can probably hear in the background, it's making a lot of high-pitched whistling sounds. So when I made my stream on Saturday, there wasn't any of this noise in the background. Now there is, because, and normally, I don't know how else I can do this. I want to be able to stream the window, which is what I'm going to be doing right now. I want to be able to stream this window, basically stream everything that's coming in. I want to put my window on live stream, basically. A window capture, that's what I'm trying to say. Why don't I just find out what it's called, a window capture, so I'm going to put it in window capture mode. Okay, so there we go. This is that other model that I have on my screen right now is going to be another one I use in some future videos. I'm kind of at the turnaround point here, the threshold of restarting up, and trying to do some experience with live streaming if I can. Maybe adding some interaction, some call-in interaction, that sort of thing. I don't know. It's an experiment to see how much of this can still be popular, how much of this I should bring back. So I'm getting an idea right now. So I thought I'd just start out by showing, maybe just experimenting with a new idea, kind of a starting of a project, which is show the viewer kind of what I'm doing, and just it's going to be a small sample of what I'm doing. And most of what I've been doing up till now is just kind of bringing everybody up to date on where I am and what I plan on doing. So now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and get myself set up so I can just go ahead and stream, make a whole bunch of cheesy microphone noises, and go into my window capture settings. Which is what I should have done. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit. Well, okay. Well, it looks like. Okay. I'm going to get another. I'm going to actually. I'm going to do something else. Sorry about all the mumbling. I don't mean to show the slowdown. I'm trying not to slow the show down. And I am anyways. What I'm trying to do is set it up so I can actually watch my stream. I'll just take you behind stage and show you how sausages are made. As Tom Likas would say. I'm quoting him. So I'm not stealing. And I'm listening to him in the background. So as I slow down, couldn't figure out a way to isolate that sound so I could listen to his show. Apparently, Trump is on his way to losing the election based on things that he said and some trouble he was into and what happened today. And that's all the politics, actually political distractions that I'm going to get into. That was no attempt to even try to make you think I was talking about politics, because that's not what that is. Politics is why you get paid so little in a company that's owned by equity funds and hedge funds that are trying to destroy it because the brokers get money. That's more like politics. It's the why, and that's how I look at it anyways. So, onward. Enough of that kind of talk. Onward with... one more, because the brokers actually own it. They control it. The people who make money making it win or lose. When they can't make it win and it hits the top of the ceiling, then they make it lose. I'm just mumbling while I'm trying to figure out how to get this. Something wrong. This window capture software is not. Let me see. See, I'm new at this. I'm not going to spend too much more time on this. I'm just going to try to make it. Okay, looks like I can, anyways, I can monitor the other screen. So what I want to do is, see, I want to see if it takes, yeah, I'm not getting the kind of screen I want to show you. So, looks like one watching, and that's probably me. So if you're listening to the recording of this, there wasn't anybody listening to the live stream. I'll just be honest with you. But I wish I could get this image. That I'm trying to put the image on the screen. So it's a lot of mumbling right now. If you're listening, skip forward about 5 minutes. Things will really be getting... Yeah, this is kind of running slow.
You can sit here and argue about it. You can sit here and go around in circles. But these are facts. These are facts.
Can I give you a fact? Are you going to let me talk for 1
second? These are facts. These are facts. Good.
Okay,
except, tell me which poll shows Donald Trump beating Hillary Clinton. Which one specifically?
Tell me, how about you?
Is there one?
Tell me which
you
poll.
Can't.
Tell me which
Thank
poll
you.
showed
Thank you. I'll take that. I'll take that as a confirmation because you can't name one poll in which Hillary Clinton doesn't beat Donald Trump.
Yeah,
you
I can. The Quinnipiac poll. The Quinnipiac poll and the USA Today poll.
What year was that?
He's beating him in both of them. He's beating him in both.
In what year?
When? Beating him in both. Beating him in both. Look it up. Look it up. That's a fact. USA Today poll and Quinnipiac poll. Pull it up right now and tell your listeners what the numbers are. Pull them up.
What about all the other polls?
Oh, so those two don't matter?
Again, you can only name two polls. The rest of them are all Hillary over Donald Trump.
The fact is, if you looked at the polls for the nomination when it was 6 months away, who was in first place?
Doesn't matter who was.
Okay, I think
who was in first place?
If you're starting to listen right now, I promise this is no attempt to try to rip off Likas' show. I'm just listening to Tom for a second. So if there's any controversy, I'd be glad to pull this down. The whole purpose of this is just to...
By the way, I did what you said.
I want to see if I actually want to see if I'm capable of using this as a tutorial. I'm going to show you how awful. Basically, it's kind of like constructive technical whining. Oh, good. Okay, I'm watching the delay of my stream.
We're living in the present.
Okay. All right.
So you challenge. I love that.
I got an old message. This is a technical audio check to assure that tonight's schedule. Well, yeah, I should.
Right? Isn't that true?
Okay. All right.
So what do
Okay.
you know? What do you know?
Anyways,
What do you know?
it looks like I'm going to be able to teach
Oh, we haven't
with
even
this.
started. We don't have to start on Hillary Clinton.
I'm watching a delay on another screen, and it looks like I'm getting what I wanted the first time.
Are you kidding?
So here we go.
I live in this country and I'm a Trump supporter.
I
So,
don't
yeah,
care.
I'm
I'm gonna talk
Team
at
Trump.
various times as I
work
do
for the
this.
campaign. I campaign, and guess what?
Mostly this is definitely a test, and I'm going to write that down so people don't. I don't want to deceive my listeners or viewers. I really don't want to start a bad, deadly pattern disappointing people.
Let's go over the polls. International Business Daily.
I should have
poll.
actually typed it
Clinton
in.
47, Trump
Wonder if I can still do
35.
this.
Okay. Fox News.
I'm going to go in and
We
actually
report you
edit.
decide. Clinton 49, Trump 38. Bloomberg.
I
Clinton
don't know where I can do
54,
that.
Trump
I'm trying to
36.
find my dashboard. I'm still
CBS
all
News.
brand new at this.
CBS News.
I
You are,
am
oh, now,
killing
yeah.
it.
Well, everybody could have said that.
You can see me doing it.
I'm leading in the polls.
Trying to see if there's a way I can
Everybody
edit.
else is a loser.
different.
Well,
That's
guess
when
what?
the primaries were.
Well, I'm going to my
Yeah,
live
guess
stream
what?
event.
All these. Look,
There
let's
it
go.
is.
CBS News, New
I'm
York
trying to see if I can
Times,
just edit the
Clinton 50,
title.
Trump 40.
Yes, here it is.
That would be
CNN.
like you reading
Clinton
the primary
53,
polls last.
Trump 41, Monmouth poll.
Yeah.
Clinton 48, Trump 38. Okay? I mean, you go down the list, and Clinton is beating Trump
What
over
did the
and
polls
over.
say during the Reagan year? What did the polls
ABC
say during the
News,
Reagan year?
Washington
He was
Post.
going to get clocked by Jimmy Carter.
ABC
And what
News,
happened?
Washington
What
Post.
happened?
Clinton 50, Trump 41.
What happened with
NBC News, Wall Street Journal,
Ronald Reagan was
51
gonna
to
get
38.
stomped by
Clinton.
Jimmy Carter.
Go
And what
down
happened?
the
There's a
list.
revolution
You're the
going
one
on
who
right
just
now.
told me. You just told me, and you were wrong. You just told
No,
me
I
that there
wasn't
were
wrong.
all these
Then it was
polls.
you right before
There were
that.
all
USA
these
Today and the
polls.
Quinnipiac one, he
Right.
beat her.
Look, you're a typical East Coast loudmouth, and you're just like Trump. And the fact is that I just proved I spanked you on a national show here because I've got the numbers in front of me. And Trump loses to Clinton in virtually every poll.
Okay, and you probably were the same
So
guy
there you
who
go.
told your support. I don't listen to your show, but I don't know if you probably were telling it. This would be like you telling your fan base that Trump can't win the
Can't.
nomination because
Not going
Jeb
to.
Bush.
Name the last
ahead of him.
president. Name the last president who won with such low favorability among blacks, women, and Latinos. Name the last one.
Name the last time we were going against Hillary
No,
Clinton.
that's a question. Don't answer a question with a question. Name the last president who won with numbers that bad.
You have to look at the
Name
matchup
the
we
last.
have now. We're going
Name
against
the
Hillary
last
Clinton.
president who won with unfavorability among blacks, women, and Latinos. Name the last one.
I don't believe those polls.
You
I
can't.
don't believe them.
You don't believe them? Well, wait a minute.
Yeah, I don't believe them.
These are
I've
polls.
gone to
These are
college
not
rallies.
polls. These
I've
are
gone to
facts
college
about the
rallies.
past.
Those aren't facts.
They are
the
facts.
the
The
polls
fact
now
is
are
that
not
Donald
facts.
Trump has the highest unfavorability rating of anyone who's ever run for president. A, highest unfavorability. B, Donald Trump,
we are
you
going
cannot
against.
win without these groups. You cannot write off 52% of the population.
Okay, so I think I've
which is
labeled this
women.
He
okay.
never rolled off 52% of
You
the
got to.
population. First off, who has brought in as many voters as Donald Trump?
What woman is going to vote for a guy who wants to put women who had abortions in prison?
He never-
What woman's going to vote for that?
He never
Please,
said that.
please.
Hey, okay, you like saying when I bring something up and prove it wrong. Play back for me where Donald Trump said women who have abortions should go to prison. Play that.
They should be punished. They should
Okay,
be punished.
okay.
What kind of
They
punishment?
should go to
Give them a
prison.
traffic ticket? Give them a...
No.
No.
First off,
He said
abortion is
doctors should
never
go to
gonna be
prison,
illegal in
too.
this country. Abortion will never be illegal in this country. He
Now I
said-
just need to know how to
the
save.
question was,
Right.
is that abortion
You sound just
was-
like it. It's amazing.
I can't seem to really be able to
abortion
test
illegal.
to get this. Okay, I have bad video settings.
Someone's breaking the law? Yeah.
Need to turn up my.
But that's never
Yeah, I
gonna
need
be illegal.
questionable
So
live
it's
stream
irrelevant
health, and I
He
need.
didn't say that.
I need to
He said
turn up
he
my
wants to
settings.
appeal to
Well, it looks like I'm seeing what I'm
everybody,
doing right after I do it, and it looks like somebody would show you a tutorial. That's great. So that's good.
Meanwhile, the guy has contributed to Planned Parenthood in the past, for God's sake. So he will say whatever is convenient and whatever will get him
Save.
elected, and does not care if it's true or rings true. Doesn't matter if it conflicts with everything he's ever said before. It doesn't matter.
Okay, you're a John Kasich support. Why is John Kasich still in the race? Why is he in the race? He shouldn't even be allowed to stay in the race.
Well,
he
because
mathematically reach
there is no
the
law that says you have to drop out of the race. It doesn't exist. That's why.
So what? Why is he there?
Because he's hoping for a brokered convention. And you know what? With a brokered convention, he has a chance to win. He has a chance to get the nomination. Yeah. By the way, you know what I'm doing? Let me tell you what I'm doing. I am a declined to state voter, as we call it in California, or an independent.
Okay.
I'm going to register Republican and vote for John Kasich just to help his cause. That's what I'm going to do.
Oh, that's okay. As long as you're not voting for.
That's about as good as I can do.
I would never vote for him, but he does have a chance if there's a broker.
Okay, the thing that's happening right now is I'm not able to get my new title up, so I might be making people think that there's actually this thing. This is just a tutorial for Poser 9, which is what I'm going to start doing to make using to make my new videos. And I'm listening to a streaming radio live stream show at the same time. I have it down in the background. So now I'm just trying to save my new title, so people will. I mean, it's going to explain that I'm using a. Well, I do have a posting up there that says I'm doing a tutorial of Poser 9.
Doesn't matter if you're indicted.
No way the DMC will allow her to continue.
You're wrong.
And second off, let me tell you this.
It's crazy. Trying to find the place. Where do you save? Where do you hit save your title?
Doesn't matter. Kind of the way George W. Bush was handed the election when
I typed it in there, but I can't find save title.
I know that works.
So what you're watching now is a tutorial of how to use my live streaming.
Al Gore
Didn't want it to be like this.
Back when they ran against
Okay.
Yeah, you know it.
Go right here. Yeah, that's what I need. There is no button for saving,
have to have the majority of the vote to win, and that's what would happen in the case.
so I can't change the title. I'm probably just going to give up on it, but I don't want to. I'd like to make sure I'm not deceiving people. I want them to know what this is.
If that were true, why was Donald Trump going around talking about how great he's doing in the polls? We're number one in every poll. We're number one. We're always number one in the
There's
poll.
nothing. There's no button that just says save changes on your edit. So I'll tell you what, I'm just going to forget about it. I'm not going to make a real big deal about it. Here, I'm going right into the Poser 9. Okay, and I'm just going to leave it to that little comment I made in the chat room that hopefully somebody will read and know what I'm really doing. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to do now. Okay, I have the face. Got a real mess. The Poser 9 in this old machine that used to work perfectly with Poser 7 and Poser 9 a year ago. I'm going to have to adjust the clothing a little bit. Obviously, you can see a little flaw there. It's not doing exactly what it's supposed to, and I'm going to try to figure out how to delete that. So here it is. I have the frames. I'm moving the frames forward. And trying to put... Oh, look. And this is another thing. It's really sensitive. The adjustments are not right. There have been so many problems since I put this back into the Sony i7. I had a hardware issue. A few months ago, and I actually tore it open and I fixed it, and it's now I have a fast online connection, but I have some very slow, jerky movements going on with the characters and the dolls. Okay, let's speed this up a little bit. Okay. See, it's not exactly where I thought it was. This is my new Cintia model. This is Cintia, a little bit older now, age progression. So she was a age 20s giantess. Now she's about a little over 30 now. but of course a fictional character that a lot of people seem to like. So I brought it back, did a little
Everybody's watching.
age progression.
Debates have 30 million viewers. Everybody's watching.
This,
Nobody's watching.
I'm really working as best I can with some real some quirky things going on here, some anomalies. Yeah, the way the eyeballs are, definitely a glitch. There's a very bad interaction between the software and the hardware. And I'm watching it on my HP Pavilion screen. It's about 10 seconds behind the stream, which is a good way to use the equipment because the HP Pavilion won't even do this well with this software. Brand new, and I need to figure out exactly why that is. The Sony i7 is what I'm using to make the stream now.
Yelling and screaming, and I'm going to play that the day after Donald Trump is not.
And the thing is I need to be able to put to capture the monitor and put the images on the monitor of the same machine, the same computer, laptop that's actually doing the streaming. I don't know. Right now, I haven't networked because it would be nicer if I could just do the streaming with the HP, because it does it fine. And then network it so that the image it could capture the monitor of the other machine. I don't exactly know how I'm going to set that up, but I'm probably putting a lot on one machine, especially a 5-year-old i7 that's had hardware issues and hasn't quite been the same since. But a lot of times I figure that if you just keep working with these things, you learn faster. I do. I pick things up. I start seeing exactly what goes on.
Okay, let me ask you this.
It's kind of like a mobile home I moved into 15 years ago on a friend's property, my cousin actually. And he said, "Are you sure you don't want to get the thing just perfectly right before you move into it?" I said, "The best thing to do is move right into it and start living, and you'll figure out what you need to fix really fast." It's kind of how it is here. Just jump in, integrate yourself into the process, and it seems to be a much faster way to learn things. For anybody who's watching, you can probably figure out what I'm doing. Anybody who's looking at this can figure out what I'm trying to do. It's no stretch of the imagination. For anybody who's just kind of entered and seen this, you can kind of guess what I'm trying to make the model do. Don't need to explain it too much. Okay, good. And I bought this horrible mouse. It's a great mouse. I bought it at Big Lots for $5 optical. It's awesome. They really could have spared me the 2 buttons they put on it. There's these 2 side buttons. I'd like to take a pair of pliers and just rip them right off, because I'm left-handed right now, which is I can do a mouse with my left hand. I don't know how many other people do it. I'm right-handed and I'm left-handed, either one. I'm left-handed now because it's more convenient where the mouse is located. But my fingers keep inadvertently pushing these 2 extra things. I don't know why they put them there. It's a step back and step forward button. Maybe it's also a browser button. I don't know. But I don't need it. So what it did is it actually put me a step back, and I had to try to figure out where I was with this. And I've been tempted to take a pair of pliers and just, if I didn't think I was going to damage the mouse itself, I wish I could just delete those buttons. Maybe put some duct tape on them, or I don't know, take my hot glue gun, just say, squirt glue in there to make sure that it frees up the buttons so I can push on them all I want. Yeah, okay. All right.
No problem. After saying that, though, dude, I just want you to admit that you're in line with all the guys that are in the clan
All the fucking racists that are out there.
Absolutely not.
All the-
Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
Come on. That's what you're
Having some clothing issues with Poser 9.
It is not. And Aaron, you were on
You
my
know what?
Twitter
I just
page.
figured it out.
Go to my Twitter page.
I wish I
Look at my
knew.
followers.
I obviously haven't
African
edited the title
Americans.
because
I
it
have
hasn't
Hispanics.
changed.
I have Muslims who tweet me, who message me, who
So
retweet
pardon
my
me for
tweets.
going back one
Donald
more
Trump,
time.
He has not said one thing that was racist. Find me one racist thing that
I need to
Donald
find
Trump
out
said.
how I can make
You're a
how I can
voter
change this
racist?
title.
Is that racist? Is that racist?
Look, yes. Look, it's
It is?
xenophobia. Xenophobia. The guy's a
Xenophobia.
xenophobe.
That's not xenophobia. How come if you, hey, go,
Why do
Aaron,
we need
go
to keep
Mexico.
Mexican people out of the country? Why, when
We
the
don't need to
country was
keep
founded
Mexican
on
people out of
bringing
the country.
immigrants here, do we need to keep them out all of a sudden? What is that
need,
about? Why do people
don't
act
need,
like that?
we don't need to keep Mexicans out of our country. And Donald Trump never said we need to keep Mexicans out of our country.
2,000-mile wall supposed to do?
Because you're not realizing.
Okay, now I do hope I can post this title.
You're not realizing the amount of drugs that are pouring into illegal immigration.
No, I
It's
don't.
driving down
I've
rates,
never seen
including
substantiated data to back that up.
Yeah, go to the border statistics. Look at the
I live in
border-
California,
border
man.
website.
I live in California where, like, dude, I could walk outside and take a piss in a circle and pee on, like, 10 illegal immigrants walking into a restaurant ready to
Okay.
go to work. Those guys aren't raping me. They're not fucking mugging me. They're not beating the fuck out of people. I live in San Francisco where that girl got killed by a illegal immigrant.
Yeah, what do you think about that? That's lovely,
Dude,
right?
they held that up for like 6 months. It was like the only. There's a reason that's the only one you've heard of.
What?
Because it's the
An
only
80-year-old
time.
vet
It's a rare
the
time.
week after that. An 80-year-old vet the week after that was raped, sodomized, and killed by an illegal immigrant. How about young African-American boy? He was going on to Stanford to play football.
What does
His
this?
father's
What
been
does
out.
any of this have to do with anything?
Well, what do you mean? It's about illegal immigration. Nobody's going to secure our
There
border.
are plenty of Native American-born people who commit crimes all the time.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I
we
mean,
can
look at all the
let
guys
people
stringing
commit
black
crimes?
people up in the South for decades. Those are good old boys.
So you think
they were born right here?
anyone? Do you think anyone who wants to come in should just come and go as they please? Is that what you think?
Look,
If you want to
what
come
I
in the
think-
United States,
what I
we don't
think
need
is
to
that
vet
if you're a
you.
Trump
We don't need to
supporter,
check
you're
in your
a racist
background.
piece of shit. That's what I think.
How am I racist? What did I say that was racist?
Look, I'm not racist, and I wouldn't crawl into bed with a bunch of guys.
I can take it or leave it.
Races.
How does he hate other races? How does he hate other races?
I'm definitely in a learning curve here.
I'm saying the supporters, dude. I have no idea.
I do not know how they expect you to save a title. I'd like to save a title and I can't.
And Barack Obama didn't have any racist
Barack
supporters?
Obama's not
Or
running
was
for
it just?
president.
Is it just supposed to be that you type it in and then you leave it alone? And sometimes that happens in YouTube.
He is out of office
Automatic
as of
change.
January 20th.
I would like to say that changes are saved automatically, but I don't see that here.
Donald Trump? Donald Trump never
No,
said
there's
he
just
wasn't
absolutely no
Donald Trump
button.
claimed to not know who David
Whatsoever.
Duke is.
Sean Hannity counted it. He disavowed
Sean
David
Hannity,
Duke.
who I have
No,
known
there's just sign out,
24
Creator
years.
Studio.
I have known Sean Hannity for 24 years.
And then
He
I've
was a
typed
listener
something in
of
and
mine
it.
1990. You can call it
Oh, hang
Sean
on a
Hannity.
second. I'm gonna try something.
Sean Hannity is
I
another
apologize.
person who's just
I
simply a
apologize.
mouthpiece of the
Okay, nobody
That's
else
all
is in
he
here except me.
Oh, please. He hasn't endorsed anybody. He's been giving Cruz
it's pretty
and
clear.
Trump equal
Okay,
time.
time that he
Okay, this
supports
should
Trump,
work.
but it's clear.
Then why wouldn't he say that?
He doesn't have to say.
Okay, I stopped the streaming and I started streaming.
That's why I
But
don't-
maybe the
and that's
change will
after knowing him
take
for
place that
24
way.
years. How many years have you known Sean Hannity?
Okay, the point is
How many years have you known him? You don't know Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity is an image on a
I don't see it.
I wasn't talking about that.
Well, if I start to see the stuff on Poser 9 come up on the screen,
Sean Hannity for 24
oh
years.
no, it didn't
Have you?
work. Okay, so it doesn't. I cannot change that title.
Pretty obvious. Everybody knows.
It's my fault completely. Learning curve completely.
Doesn't matter.
Since the early 2000s.
Forget about it. Let's move
He's not running
on.
for president.
Okay,
Sean
so
Hannity is not running
it
for
is kind of
president.
cool that I can show this.
Who has made
and it's teaching me how I can teach. I've never used this tool before.
Well, yeah, and then why did he say he didn't even know who he was?
This is definitely, I'll just keep doing,
Quite clear he couldn't hear the day before.
Oh, he couldn't hear.
The day
I see.
before, at
Yes,
the
he couldn't
Christie
hear.
press conference.
like the old mock-ups of the civil defense emergency years ago. I'll just keep re-announcing. This is only a test. This is not an actual attempt to be professional. This is a test. This is the only way I know how to learn how to use this. I'm not planning on doing too many of these intro learning curve videos.
No one's heard about that.
Okay.
But for right now, I'm just trying to get an idea of how I can teach with this thing.
Asked me to pull something up. I did, and I proved you wrong 6 ways from
I
Sunday.
have this, all my devices hooked up into my audio board, so
You
I'm
know, you're gonna have to prove me wrong.
listening to the
once,
Tom
but
Likas show
something
while I do this stuff. I don't know how high the volume is.
else. You want me to look up that Quinnipiac poll again? I can do that.
No, I want you to look
I
up
got it right here.
Donald Trump.
You want to
Lips.
see
You're pulling up the wrong one. You're pulling up the
it?
wrong
Quinnipiac
one.
poll.
You're pulling up the wrong Quinnipiac
Thank you.
poll.
Thank you for
Guess what I'm gonna make her
suggesting
mouth
that and
do?
Find out how wrong you
Of course.
I wasn't wrong. You pulled up the wrong one.
were. No, I didn't.
Sure did.
He pulled up the most recent one, which I pulled up too.
Hey, Aaron, who do you support, if you don't mind me
I
asking?
like how he gets off the subject. The most recent
I
Quinnipiac
better say
You're
it.
the one that got off the
Well,
subject.
you're the one who brought this up. Thank you for mentioning it.
David Duke,
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's time to
Quinnipiac
save.
University, there it is, right there. Clinton. I'm reading the press release dated March 23rd. It's the most recent poll. Clinton tops Trump 46 points to 40 points.
Jesus.
Right? So we have you on tape.
Wow.
saying-
That's going to be so awesome.
The Quinnipiac poll. You were wrong. We did pull it up, and you were
The
wrong.
one I looked at
You
last.
were wrong.
The one right before that.
Admit.
Peter and
Admit.
Quinnipiac polls before.
Admit you were wrong.
No,
Okay.
I wasn't wrong.
You were wrong. Did
It's
you
really,
tell
this
me?
is the first time I've actually ever tried to, oh yeah, jam it in your mouth with your fingers.
That Trump beats Clinton in the Quinnipiac poll.
Ugh. Fingers up your nose.
Which one?
In the meantime,
Where is it?
let me. In the meantime,
Yeah,
let
it's
me
very,
answer your question.
this thing is so jerky. You get nothing, or else her wrist goes into outer space.
Of exactly what we've gotten in the last 8 years, that's who I'm going to vote for.
What?
Yeah. So I'm randomly just running this stream. I think I'd just like to be able to show how
That I've always
Poser 9 really sucks. This isn't too different from how it runs, how it used to run when I had my machine working better.
It's gone down the ship.
There's so many things that they,
The economy is booming.
whatever, it would be nice, and I know how businesses work, so they don't want to do this, but they really should be more straightforward and honest about the system requirements. And if they were, I would guess that they wouldn't say that this machine that I've been using is standard enough, is substantial enough up to the bar. And yet this is a Sony i7, and it was a lot better than this once.
How many Americans are on
But there were still a lot of functions that wouldn't work. The textures sometimes didn't work right. The cloth room, never could get the cloth room to work right.
No, it has not.
And I mean, we're talking about 2.2 gigahertz, 8 virtual cores.
On every major point that you can give
And,
to a president, he's gotten it.
This is kind of what I've been putting up with, and it just deteriorates.
Students get up to their ears when they get out of school.
That's their fault.
We
not
have
his.
He's contributing to it. Our economy's terrible.
You're gonna have to prove. Hey, listen. Not only that, but he has a list of accomplishments, tons and tons of things that he's had pushed through.
Yeah, if you expand your screen enough to be able to actually see how my cursor and the movements of the cursor, you can actually see how long
Look, tell you what. I'm
it
gonna
takes
call back
before
in
it even.
when Tom calls you back up, and we have 4 more years of the last 8 years, and
Okay.
I'm seriously gonna pop a bottle of champagne and we
Yeah.
can high five each other.
The cursor doesn't even acknowledge where it's sitting for about 5 to 10 seconds. It's all the slowness.
By the way, thank you for bringing up food stamps. I'm glad you did, because I just looked that up too. Thank you for suggesting that. Year to year, as of December 2015,
Okay.
there were more than 1 million less people
You know what's
on
wrong
food
with what I
stamps
just
than there were
did?
the year before. And in the year
I didn't do
before
it with
that, and
the...
I've got the
No,
numbers
look
right
what
here.
happens.
In the year before
Okay,
that,
well, that's
it
not
was
bad.
a decrease of
Okay, that's not bad.
1,063,419
So,
persons
okay.
on food stamps. So you're wrong again, buddy.
Okay, it's just the
Because you
general
can't name
movements
one
I start
poll
out with.
in which Hillary
And then
Clinton
I
doesn't
just
beat Donald
kind of
Trump.
trim them, edit them,
Luckily, I'm in my
Yeah.
car for you,
start
so I
editing
can't
the
pull up the real
collisions.
Oh, yeah, the real numbers. Yeah.
Excuses.
By the way, did you just hear yourself talking about the Quinnipiac poll? Let's listen to that again. Here it is. Because you can't name one poll in which Hillary Clinton doesn't beat Donald Trump.
Yeah,
You
I can.
can't.
The Quinnipiac poll.
You're wondering about the clothes in the eyes. It's
You said
because
that, but
this
you were
is part of
wrong,
the
weren't you?
messed up
You were
Poser
wrong.
9 tradition.
Food stamp numbers. You won't even tell me where you got them. Where'd you get them?
I don't have time to tell you. I'm just simply telling you. I'll tell you what. Why don't you look it up? You know what? Why don't you look it up for a change? I'm done. I am done being your computer program to look things up. You look it
I
up
don't
yourself.
want you to be my computer
Look it
program.
up
You're
yourself.
pulling up stuff that isn't true.
No, yes, it isn't true. I know it isn't true.
Where'd you get it? What source did you get it from? Tell
What
everyone
source did I get it from? Are you kidding me?
This is not how I
got
plan
it
on
from-
doing future
these
videos,
are the
and this is why
of the food stamp
hopefully that
program. They're
disclaimer
right here.
will say
Look them up.
this is
Because you can't name one poll.
This
in
is
which Hillary
me
Clinton
actually
doesn't
trying to
beat
put one
Donald Trump.
together. I was trying to, this wasn't intended to be a live stream, but I thought I would turn this particular project into a little bit of a live, use a live stream to record
Thank you very much. Here
and
you
broadcast,
go.
actually to put out a portion. I'm just not able to really talk the way I wanted today. I'm trying to put out a portion of what I'm doing here to demonstrate how great. I guess it's my own personal need to demonstrate how wonderful Poser 9 is.
First-time listeners.
What I think of Poser 9.
Explain to you who I am. Every last Wednesday of the month, I sit in with Tom for the entire show, and in the second hour, we do a segment called Ask a Mexican. I do a column called Ask a Mexican where people send in questions to be about Mexicans. They could be politically incorrect, they could be about food, they could be about everything. So I was listening to you talking about Trump, and I'm just, I won't even get into that at all, just for the purpose of this. But I did want to correct you on two things. When you were talking
Okay,
about
now that's
how
the best I've had it.
rampant violence across the border, and that illegal
And
immigrants
I'm
are
going to
bringing
admit that
crimes to whatever they
some
do.
of that happened by accident,
I'm
but I
not-
seem to have the
I'm
correct
being polite,
collision
so
going
let me
on.
finish and then I'll let you talk. I've answered that question many times, both on Tom's show and in my column, which I back up with stats, facts, and all that stuff.
There's really
And
one
actually,
thing that this
multiple
whole
studies have shown that
episode is
many
motivating me to do.
Canadians that are
Number one,
illegally
try to
immigrants,
fix this
whether undocumented or
machine
not,
and
or
in
not,
the
they actually
settings
have
so that
far
maybe
lower rates of
this will
crime
work a lot
in
better than
cities
it's
where there's
working.
not as many immigrants.
Kind of the way it used to be able to
Again
work.
and again and again.
Or
And
number
when they
two,
say,
the
I
primary
think
is
you mentioned El Paso, I'm not sure, but
get some
I
brand new
read about
animation
you talking about
software
violence
and
around the border. I remember El Paso for
And,
years, in multiple studies. This is
really,
the FBI, crime
ideally,
statistics
it would be
have
nice to
shown
have
that El Paso
the machine
was
set up that would
inside
be able to handle it.
the safest city
But I mean, one way or the other, an
Remember,
ideal.
El Paso
I
is
definitely
right there
do.
on the border.
This has been the reason I've slowed down on these
So,
things.
again, my apologies, but you were
This,
talking about violence on the border. So there you
This
go. El
constant,
Paso is
continuous,
an essential
expected
border town.
interface
It's
with
also
this
one of the
type
safest
of
cities in the United States. It's also very, very
garbage.
Mexican, very, very undocumented.
And I need to
What would
do
you
like I
say
did
about
with
that?
YouTube streaming and learning some basics about the OBS encoders and software and all that. Stick with it and learn how it works. I need to do more reading about this. No doubt, I admit that. I need to find out mostly through research how I can, the best types to use. I bought my last Poser item, and I am no stranger to the amount of negative ostracism. I'm not going to try. Bleh, bleh, porky pig. Negative. I think I need a nap is what my problem is. I didn't sleep very good last night. And when I do that, I just can't put the ostracization. I'm no stranger to the ostracization that this gets. The software. I know there's been a lot of criticism about Poser. So it's not like I'm a stranger. It's not like I learned that.
I have no problem with people coming in.
But it's been a most useful.
What we have a problem with is there are
Really, I should give up.
people
want to come into
I
this
should not.
country,
I'm
go through the
definitely in no
process,
condition to
and
be
come
doing
in
any kind of
legally.
a radio
People to respect our laws.
streaming.
We don't
And
reward
there are
you
times when
by
I am,
coming to
and this is not
country
it.
illegally. Go to Mexico.
I think the most important thing is rest up from the weekend. I need some mental rest from the
That's called the
weekend.
American Constitution.
I'm just getting ready. I'm thinking
It's a
Thinking of
Amendment.
it.
The Supreme Court has
I'll be
determined
at this for about
that.
another
And
5 or 10
unfortunately,
minutes.
both Trump and your side just do not really believe in the Constitution. The courts have determined that if you
And then
are
I
born
think
into
I
this
will.
country,
I think
whether
I'll cut out
citizen
for
or
a
not,
nap.
you automatically become an American citizen. Your side calls them anchor babies. Everyone else,
That's
the
what they
American
are.
Constitution calls
They're
them
anchor
an
babies.
American citizen.
I have lots of crazy problems. My taskbar,
You're the language that you're talking
Yeah,
about.
my
Flopping them
my
out.
taskbar's in the way of
You're
my
talking about
frames.
Human beings basically
It's just-
defecating people onto this country, and you wonder why people call you a racist.
Okay, there we
people
go.
call Donald
I
Trump
must
a
have
racist.
clicked
You're
something.
the language that you're talking about.
That's line for rape.
Did your mom flop you out? Did your mom flop you out?
I will admit that I have some very lame-ass problems. Definitely making a boring video. Trying to hold back all the frustration I'm not showing.
Actually, you know the group that does that the
But
most
this
is
is
not
definitely,
Mexican,
if anyone's ever wondered why I've stopped doing this, I always forget. Every time I read a comment, I think, I ask myself, why have I stopped? What's wrong with me? I guess I keep remembering wrong. I remember that I had other things to distract me, which is partly true, but I think it's just because this software is so lame-ass.
What are you talking about? I said that legal immigration.
Never, it wasn't like this at the beginning. I had a good gaming computer between 2009 and 2011. I bought it when I realized that the first Sony computer, the Vio that I had, was not going to be able to run this. And it worked. It actually was good. And then I bought an i7, and that was even better. And then this i7 seemed to top them all. If I was actually using Poser 7, I think this would still work all right.
When I say that, I say
But,
it in terms of.
I figured that Poser 9 was,
Sure, I got plopped out.
I could probably kind of feed this thing a little bit too much. I've noticed the textures are a little bit better in Poser 9. Okay, so I will say something positive about it. I have liked from the beginning the difference in texture.
Rhetoric. Don't give me that garbage. What it is.
And this will be the first time I've ever posted a video. An AV, actually made an AVI.
Not an immigrant mother. Not an immigrant mother. An illegal alien. An illegal alien.
Immigrant mother
An illegal
gave
alien.
birth to an American
An
citizen.
illegal alien. An illegal
American
alien.
citizen. And remember, you're also misrepresenting the point that I gave you, that your lionized legal immigrants, they're the ones who are giving the most anchor baby birth by far.
And that's a
This has
problem.
been shown
That's a
again and
problem.
again.
That's a problem. That's a problem. Yeah, that's a problem too.
Okay, well, why haven't you been railing against legal immigrants then? That's what you've been lionizing right now. So just admit that you're against any immigrants coming into this country.
Right now, yeah.
Unless they're married to Donald Trump.
We need a just.
Then he's in favor.
We need a just.
Jeez,
period
I was
right
actually
now.
paying
those are jobs
attention to
they
that.
could have gone to America.
Okay.
Being married to Donald Trump, and he has
They need to
outsourced those jobs to
assimilate.
Eastern Europe.
They need to. And how did Melania Trump come over here? This becomes.
Now, what I really need to do,
God
if I
only
wasn't
knows.
listening to this show and doing this right now, definitely, this is absolutely no attempt to
But
gain
he
any
does
kind of
outsource, that
popularity,
job.
which I don't think it will. But just in case there's any thought that there might be, it isn't. By posting the show,
What your side always does is make
I'm
up
just,
all these excuses for
it would be either be that or I'd be using the phone I have hooked up to my soundboard to run some spacer music, bumper music or whatever. But I kind of rather pay attention to this stuff going on. Use this as the spacer for an already very boring video that I'm making, and I realize it. I want to test a little bit of my speaking and how I'm going to do a tutorial and speak and kind of see how well I'm going to be able to pull this off on future ones. Basically determining whether I even want to do something like this or just finish this off and then rip it down.
Is that how he became a
No, he
billionaire?
became a billionaire by ripping people off as much as possible.
The house sausages are made version of.
With his casinos. Look at the undocumented immigrants who sued him. And,
Following the law.
Look at the people who be making his work, his suits, but instead he sends them off to China and Mexico. It's all your side offers is excuses. And the funniest thing, you guys talk about make America great again, and you told the previous caller, this past 8 years have been hell. You guys are the most whiniest bitches I've ever heard in my life. It is just amazing how much resentment and crying you guys do. Like, you guys, look up this word. This is a word that
I think if it were me, I want to say I probably wouldn't want to sit and watch something like this, but then I thought about it a little longer, and I thought maybe I would if it was someone else, because I'd want to see how they're doing. I'd want to sit, even if I was spacing out looking at it, I'd want to see exactly what kind of curves they're having with this, if they're dealing with similar issues. Because I am definitely decided I'm going to start coming back in this direction, but I'm not going to let this be an obstacle anymore. I'm going to make a really quick one and then put it on. And I think I'll actually just put it on live and then just post the whole thing. But then I'll also have a copy that I can just make a clip of. I might make the clip of it too. The live boring version, and then of course
brand American tradition, and all I hear is you guys cry. You cry like little babies. It's kind of sad. No wonder China's gonna come. Gonna come conquer us if we have people like your side ruling this country.
Because they don't respect us.
Obama's black.
Oh, yeah. I don't care that Obama's black. You realize that two of the last...
Well, I don't think anybody's watching. I'm not going back to that page again, that's for sure.
Oh, was Obama even born here legally? Please.
Well, and how did that arise? Why don't you tell everyone how that arose? Because he wrote
Jerome Corsi from WorldNet Daily.
Wrong. He wrote a book that said, with the person he authored it with, that he was where did he go to school? Harvard? Is that where he went to school? Where did Obama go to school?
I don't know. You tell me. You know more about Obama than I do.
Irrelevant.
By the way, is Obama running for president? Why are we talking about Obama?
Because he brought it up. Well, all I'm saying is...
No, you brought him up early, and I told you to stop talking about it.
The birther thing that came from him writing a book where the author wrote, man from Kenya, immigrant from Kenya. So that's how that came up.
The fact that someone wrote a book doesn't make it right. Don't you do your own research?
Obama said it himself, so that's how it came up.
Right.
That's all it is.
Oh my God! It is not.
No, your side is the biggest chavalas. And again, I just called Tom. I'm editing a newspaper. I called in just to disprove them on the, this rise, this crime wave that apparently undocumented folks have been inflicting in this country. And by the way, Mike, the same crap that you're talking about illegal immigrants, they were saying about that to immigrants when they were coming here legally.
Jesus.
Look up the stuff that Thomas Nash.
Yeah, and from out of nowhere, this type of problem completely.
I'm pretty sure I was
drawing them as apes.
So how many undos am I going to have to go through in order to undo this?
The Catholic Church as alligators.
There have to be easier ways to do this.
Those Irish folks, they were coming here legally, and people still talk trash on them.
Most of this I've learned is secrets.
My recommendation to you is really learn your American history.
You can't just blindly feel your way around every subject you learn. I mean, it's just like making this work. You get the right broadcaster, and you get YouWastesTube, and you get the equipment, and it's easy. I mean, this stuff really shouldn't be that hard.
Because look who's voting for them. The people that keep me dependent on the government. They're keeping people dependent on the government.
That's probably what makes me want to give up so easy. Because I'm smart enough to know that this stuff shouldn't be that hard. It really isn't. If it's this hard, something's wrong. And you should just put it down and wait 100 years until technology offers a solution. If there wasn't one, but if there is, then there is, and there is, and then go to it. So that's where you make a choice. You either just go to it and go and get what you need and do it right, or put it down for 100 years.
And that's exactly why. Because, and let me tell you, I've worked in these counties.
This is
The
BS.
food stamp
This is this.
tremendous.
All
It's
this is
outrageous.
proving. I'm making a
The amount
video
of
that
money
proves
these people get is
how much
insane.
BS I put in
And they
things.
complain about it, too. I don't get it.
Because I should be
Go to
just
Appalachia,
stopping
go to
this
Appalachia,
completely.
Go see all the Republicans who are on food stamps. Go check it out. I go a lot through the South, so I see the same stuff that you're.
I'm really having trouble making this function the way I want it to.
Those states are, at least those regions.
It's I'm absolutely not putting anything in there to control the jaws, and the jaws moving.
Unlike your side, my job as a reporter is to only state truth and to write
Let's
truth
watch
and to
a
research
complete
that.
animation of what this looks like.
Candidate, maybe not you personally, because as an accountant, you're supposed to be all
So
about the
far.
numbers, but your candidate is notorious for making crap up and then
Okay.
having to walk it back when nothing
She
is
examines
able
it
to
and then
or
crunch.
worse, as he seems to be doing,
Jeez.
just ignoring the fact that he
Okay.
lied or that his campaign
What's the hardest
manager
part of
grabbed
this?
a woman to the point where she got
Oh,
bruised
my
and just
God. Okay, let's
dismissing
talk
it.
about that. Let's
Yeah,
talk
and it's
about
jerking
that.
too. The
Got a
replay
woman.
animation is really
The press
jerky.
conference is over, okay?
It's just
The
skipping
press
about
conference is
30
over.
frames.
It's 45 minutes of
You see what I said,
questions.
Tom? They just offer excuses.
Yeah, I know.
It's an excuse.
No, that
This is
they
what
repeat the same
Yeah,
excuses
okay.
that Donald Trump did.
Look, it's not an excuse, and I have to say it because it's telling you to. I don't know how many people listen to this show, but however many people listen to this show are hearing this right now. And what happened was to have a press
Tens of thousands.
and we make crap up.
The only thing that would be entertaining is if I had
45 minutes.
the kind of meltdowns I used to
A
have
woman
15
comes up
years
to
ago
Donald
over this
Trump
stuff
and starts grabbing him.
and just lost it right on the air. That'd be funny.
And moves her off to the side.
It just went into full animation and then
And by the way, this
changed it from window capture, to monitor capture, put it on
Oh, those are a bunch of lefty liberals.
put it on webcam. Let it see me have this meltdown. There's no way I'm going to do that because I have a lot of nice things in here. Software sucks. It's not going to be anything. If that's going to be the thing, I sit there, I'll just have a little temper tantrum and just rip that thing. I'm not even mad enough to do that. I'm more stuck. I guess that's a better way to be. It's why I'm sitting here just playing with the cursor and pushing the mouse around. I don't really know what the hell I'm going to do about this. Okay, I'm gonna talk my way through it. What I'm gonna do is I'm taking the body at this point. Okay, I'm selecting the body. Everybody can see. Okay. So now the body, as the mouth closes, the body moves.
Like the husband who says, "Oh, my wife ran into my fist by accident." Like it just happened.
Oh no! First of all,
The police sure
happens?
didn't buy your explanation.
Don't act like a bitch. Did a
Okay.
bitch hit this woman? No. Took her arm and moved it off of Donald Trump. And
Frame back.
So, I'm assuming you think that he will be charged. The court will
He's
charge
already
him.
been charged. He's been
He's already
indicted.
been charged.
You think the court will uphold this? He's going to go to
They
court.
could.
He's going to fight it. What do you
Breaking news, but not really.
What do you think the
Breaking
outcome's
news
gonna
from
be
me
at the
listening.
court?
Breaking news from me listening to the Tom Likas show.
You just basically said
Donald Trump has been indicted.
Community service. That's what I think he's
Okay,
going
so you
to
think
have. No
he'll be
jail.
you think he'll be convicted?
He's in
What
trouble
about,
today. For those,
I'm sorry, I
We've
forgot
already
your
got
name.
you
those
on tape
almost
so many
nobody.
ways
I
embarrassing
don't see
yourself.
anything
When you come
registered.
back in November,
I think those are all my devices I'm looking at.
and now,
I'll come back.
I know
But just
you
in case there's anybody besides, and the
Okay,
counters
we'll
have
see
been
if you
wrong
do.
before.
I'm gonna
So
take
thank you
one
for
more
listening.
because there are
Thank you
so
for
many.
watching.
John
And
in
breaking
Las
news,
Vegas.
Donald
What did
Trump
you want to
has
say to
been
Mike in
indicted.
Glastonbury, Connecticut?
All right. So you mentioned
That's
92 million Americans.
each time I
are
talk about things
unemployed.
like that, that's all I do. I'm about
I
to
know
do
labor force
work.
different,
Let's see.
different. I'll up the
Okay.
labor force.
All right. I just wanted to make sure you knew the difference. Now, do you know
Okay, so-
why there's 92 million and why that number is up since the president took office?
Yeah, and don't tell me it's because of the baby boomers, because it's not.
I probably will leave this. I'll warn people that it's boring. But if you want to, anybody wants to see the struggles I have with this horrible software, in fact, I
Do you
might,
know how the government actually
might
gets
just
to those numbers?
label
Do you
a
know
lot
how
of
they
these things I
actually come up
post,
with
I'll
those
label them
numbers?
boring.
Yeah, I do. They take
Boring,
out
but
people
we'll
that
show
have
you how much
amount of
Poser 9
people
sucks.
that aren't working in total, and then they take out the people who
Start
are
a
no
radio
longer
show
looking
about
for
it.
jobs, and they don't
Post
count
what I'm
them.
using. Take some
do
calls.
they actually go up to
We
everybody
can have
and count them? 'Cause you
controversy,
may not,
controversial
I don't know if
arguments
you know
over
how
why
they actually get that number.
Poser 9 doesn't
Of course
suck.
they don't do that.
Do you know how they get the number? how they get the number of people.
It would be a bunch of geeks arguing over why poser 9 sucks.
They take what's called a survey. They ask a select number of people, do you consider yourself unemployed? They show the definition of unemployed.
Okay.
Somebody who is not looking for work, like somebody who's retired, somebody going to school, they don't want a job. They need to focus on their retirement or being in school. So this is not some number the government makes up. This is what people consider themselves.
Right. So are you telling me there are no people in this country who have given up?
Very extremely sensitive.
Absolutely not.
I spend a lot of time just going back and forth because it's too far one way, too far another.
2 million of them.
You're telling me there's only 2 million of them?
Right.
If that were the case, then why are so many people? And look, I'm not even just talking about the Trump side. Let's walk this back for a second. Look at the Democrat side. You see Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. They're talking about how bad everything is right now. Which I don't know why. They're the ones who do all this stuff, and it's still bad. But why are so many people on that side saying it's bad, too? Because let me tell you, there's a lot of people on that side.
5% unemployment does not mean that they got good jobs. It means they got crap jobs from this recovery.
First off, you'll never convince me that.
And out into space it goes. There seems to be no way to actually
you don't listen to facts,
stabilize it.
All this numbers and complicated stuff is meaningless to you because you don't understand what they mean.
I do understand.
Neither does Donald Trump, by the way.
Oh, of course not.
This is where it sucks too. You get this backlash of action for your action. It's if you look at it on a graph, you're pulling one way, and another part of the timeline, not the graph, the movement being a function of time. I hope I'm saying that right. Movement being a function of time. You move one, and it actually affects the movement in another area of time. So you have a different. You have different functions being affected in different parts of the time. You move back and you find out something else is affected.
Millions of Americans that who screwed? Who?
Yeah. Okay, I might be really close now.
I see.
So you
Yeah, kind of. Little magic trick. Levitation.
Eliminate bankruptcy, not bankruptcy laws, I'm sorry, banking laws, make the banks run amok and do exactly what they did.
And none of these controls will do what you think they're going to do either. That's another.
Trump made zillions of dollars when that stuff happened.
That's another thing.
Of course
They each go a very strange direction.
Is that the candidate you want? The candidate that wants to let the banks run amok?
You run a business. I'm not going to say the amount because for some reason Tom's a conspiracy guy and doesn't believe Donald Trump.
I'm not a conspiracy guy, not in the least.
You're telling me we don't know he has $1 billion.
We don't. We don't.
Okay, all right.
We don't know that. That is what he. That is what he
definitely
asserts.
know what he makes.
Okay.
That is what he asserts. We don't know.
Okay.
You don't know how much anyone has.
All right. So that's why I'm not going to even say it. You run a business like Donald Trump does, okay? And you have employees, you have a family, you have tremendous amounts of responsibilities. And there's a law for you to use that is completely legal, but you're not going to use it? I
Again,
don't buy that for a second.
Again, if you're listening, this is definitely not supposed to be the Tom Likas show. I'm just listening. I hope I have the volume down. I don't know if that's coming out to the board that way, but
So that makes him
I have it cranked way
I
down.
guarantee you know somebody in
While
your
I'm doing
life
this,
that maybe you don't, maybe
this
who
is
has
very tedious.
bankruptcy before. You don't know anyone in your life has applied for bankruptcy.
And you can listen to this on TuneIn. If you go to tunein.com, you can type in Tom Likas and listen to a repeat of this show.
right?
You can listen to this show today if you're listening April 4th, 2016.
I wouldn't trust.
This is the April 4th, 2016 show. That's all this is, and it's available for you to listen to free on TuneIn.
No, there isn't.
No subscription necessary. And I am definitely not, once again, I'm definitely not trying to put it out there
It's essentially the same.
to, I'm not assuming it's helping me. I would only want to promote it, promote his. This is the whole purpose of this is to show you how much Poser 9 sucks. It's a real piece of shit software. I'm starting to say that now. I don't like it.
And it's going to be more and more.
And I'm really disappointed I bought it. Am I brand new to it? No. I learned how to use it back in 2009. I read the book, and I didn't get this kind of result. This is just constantly what I get working with it now. When I had 7, it was great.
I don't know if they do. I know a lot of people in this
The clothes stayed on.
Maybe you don't, but I actually know many
The
people that
objects could be parented, and then they would stay. They wouldn't. I mean, I'm getting extreme functional changes. Functional changes on the time graph. When I move one, it affects the other, which it always used to do, but this is extreme. It's just doing some very, very strange stuff. So what do I do in this case? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to back this up to the worst part of what I did.
If you don't have a job when you're 24,
Yeah, right here.
that might be a little bit of a problem. Yeah.
Oh, really? So you're saying that a fourth-year medical student or a fifth-year medical student
Hang on a second.
is a loser and doesn't need a job? You're trying to say that somebody who's trying to get their master's degree is a loser and doesn't need a job.
That whole number, I can assure
Or
you,
needs a job.
not getting their master's degree is not in medical school. So don't act like the overwhelming majority of that number is doing that, because that's just not true.
All right. On that note, I want to thank everybody for participating in this conversation. Mike, we have saved. Dean, make sure you've got his contact information.
I was done the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, okay. Because we're going to call him back in November, whenever that day is after Election Day. We're going to call him, and we're going to play back.
Well, if I can't label this right now, I'm sure I know what I'm going to label it when I'm done.
And let's hear
And
what it is.
I'm going to edit it and change the title.
Amazing. Wow. All right, Money Monday coming up
Because
next.
one thing I'm glad about is
You
at
have
least, I
questions
never
about
really
money?
could actually put my screen, post my
I'll
screen.
tell you what I know
Well, I
about money. I'll
could.
tell you how to
I
get
guess I
money.
always could have done that. I could have made a
I know
video
how
and
to
then
do it.
talk through it.
901
Yeah, I could, but
3000 Tom,
this is right on YouTube, so it's nice.
901 3000
Yeah.
Tom for Money Monday right now, boys. 901 3000 8.
And just to prove that I'm not trying to steal any fame from Tom Likas, if you're listening and you hear that in the background, Money Monday is starting to come on pretty soon. So I encourage you to tune over there. Don't listen to me, for God's sakes. This is boring. Yes, I'm just trying to...
Yeah,
This is just...
not going to end
I just
well
want to
if these
see
charges are true.
how I'm going to be able to do these
New York is
tutorials.
definitely gonna go down
Oh,
because,
great.
Believe me, a deep fat
So
fryer
it slips
is
that...
not
Okay,
a
so
nice place
I
for
might
your
just be able to
hands.
work with
You
it
like
like
chicken
this.
Well, there you got a
I
point
mean,
there.
it's really... This is... what you're looking at is really all I'm going to do with this. I'm not making any more. This is really horrible.
They say the couple's 2 children.
It's a very horrible...
12 and
I
14
mean, I
present during the little spat.
I should be laughing,
Police also say
and I
that when they were
invite
arguing,
anyone else to
the defendant
laugh at me
grabbed
for actually
his wife by the hair,
sticking with this at
torched a
all,
deep fryer.
because this is
Our girl suffered
No.
second-degree burns to her hands.
and hopefully I don't think I'm hoping that I can learn
You know how that is.
as I go along. This is one thing. I want to see how good I am at actually
A, male
doing something and
teacher
explaining
in
at the
Las
same
Vegas
time,
in
and so
trouble
far
for banging one of
I
his
don't give
female
myself high
students.
points.
Again.
I'm stuttering and going a lot, and,
Bayer, as
and it's
in the
all true.
aspirin
I'm just
company,
being
but not
honest.
related.
There's
Apparently
no
it
real
teaches
issue,
some legacy high
real
school.
deep issues going on here. It's
A
just
lot
that
of
I'm
people saw these
I'm
two.
aware.
She apparently would come in every day and hug
Yes.
and kiss him, like on the lips.
With practice I can
that's
get
gonna
better,
raise
but right
red
now,
flag. By the way,
sitting here and moving this around and then trying to form the art of conversation,
it's a lot different
it's definitely
than the
not
mugshot.
something.
There's a lot to smile
It's
and
something I need to
happy.
work
And if you
on.
Look at the bear in the picture from
I need to put
mugshot.
myself in the extreme,
Different look to
give
it.
myself the hardest, most demanding broadcast, live stream to do, and then actually just have the worst, shittiest Poser 9 action type of graphic software I can find.
Bad idea.
Do them both at the same time and repeatedly, and maybe it'll be a strengthening maneuver.
Of course,
Strengthening
right on her
technique.
18th
I just,
birthday, they went down to the
I'm
local bank
taking
and,
so many
banged the
off-ramps
parking lot.
Well, they just couldn't wait.
right now to every
By the way, a Bear
proper
in-
word to
in
use in every
all
sentence,
the
and
exchanges
picking
about
something
the
completely
hugs and stuff,
shitty.
Bear says that.
Bayer, not the bear.
Right.
Right, just to be
I think
clear.
grumpy me needs a nap.
That's my East Coast coming out.
And me needs a nap,
Bayer
a siesta.
says that when the female student messaged him about getting the hug, it got her really
Yeah,
excited.
I was going to take one a long time ago and stop
Very
this.
excited, according to him. And he held off, said that he was
I'm near
gonna
the
go
end of
with
this
divorce,
segment.
and then perhaps the two of
I might
them could
just-
talk
I might
about
just
something
stop
down the
this
road, but,
stream.
I guess that, you know.
Okay, I'm going to do a little
Pretty
pan
exciting.
around.
And after the dynamic duo exchanged hundreds of Facebook messages,
Just take a look at it from all
mostly normal
sides. I'm
conversations,
almost going to see if I
they
can take
did
a
have
shortcut.
cyber sex over the app,
And
and that's of course we said that our friend sent the naked picture.
yeah, look at
Yeah.
this is exactly
And
what
finally, an
happens
NYU
when you
doctor
check your work.
Who claims her sex-obsessed boss fired
So is there any way I
her,
can just get it to?
an end to their sexual
I'm almost willing to fake it. It is so
Apparently,
laborious to try to
it was
laborious,
completely bonkers,
whatever.
on a whole
It's
other level.
painstakingly laborious to
In
try to
one
make this
email
thing
that
work
she
right.
said to him, she said that in grade 2 in school, she could take apart an AK-47 in much
And
less
of course, the
than a
mouth
minute.
stays open.
That's really hard to do, by the way.
See y'all on Wednesday.
That's not what we're going to do.
And she said that her bosses were Nazis and all kinds of other stuff. So who knows if any kind of affair actually took place, or she's just completely out of her mind.
Right. By the way, the person accusing her is Dr. Zigzag, almost.
Dr.
And,
Zigzag?
look at Dr. David Zigzag. It's actually Zag-Zag, but Zigzag is what it looks like to me. And also...
This is about me sticking with this.
If you put a microphone
It's
there,
about the
she looks
worst
like
thing I've ever done using. It's giving me the most horrible time with Poser, and I'm only doing it because I'm making this video about how much it sucks.
Guys.com, and of course you can find our podcast at Gary and
The
Dino.
technical help
From the New
support
Normal Studios in Burbank.
has been
Back to
a
the Tom
pile,
Leykis
really.
Show right after this.
You know, I've been preaching Leykis 101 for
I get short answers with, I consider this matter closed.
Who thought you knew more than the professor.
The only happy, liberating thing about all of this
who wants to take you
is
for
that I know I'm
everything
not going to
you've
buy
got,
this
and on
software.
top of
I'm not
that,
buying any more
screw
versions
up
of
your
it.
relationship with your kids.
I would only, under one circumstance, someone actually gave me a free sample load, and the thing was just wowed me like nothing ever has of any type of software ever created in the entire world in any other time ever. And that it was perfectly glitchless and everything, and gave me 20 minutes to discover that I could crank things out really fast. And then said, okay, now you have to pay for it. So I don't think they're going to do that.
No matter what your financial circumstances are,
It's in my assumption, and I haven't checked this, so I don't know that. And I don't definite on things that I don't know, but I think this company was sold to a hedge funds firm a long time ago. Brokers make money by destroying the price of stocks as well as raising it. They get money in both directions. They get their 20%.
Never runs from a fight. He'll even give you his cell phone number so we can
So when they can't make it go up, they make it go down. And I think that's what happened in the last 3 or 4 years. I think they try to make a mess out of this software, piss people off, get negative Yelp reviews, somehow leading to a lot of changing of numbers that accountants couldn't tweak and be blamed for tweaking later on and be indicted for. And that means that when people looked at those numbers that probably reflected the honest truth about what's going on inside their company, then of course the stock price went down, share prices go down, and the brokers of hedge funds make money. Equity firms begin to make money.
You can hear us on our free app. Get it at the App Store, get it at Google Play, or get it at TomEverywhere.com. That's TomEverywhere.com.
Hey, I actually made the mouth close a little. Don't want to do it too much, just watch what happens when I go back on the timeline. It'll actually, okay, that's good. That's actually alright. Yeah, well, something's happened to the head movements.
Self-made, multi-millionaire, that's me. You want to know how to make
Okay,
more
time
money?
to save, because usually when I have it saved in this long a time, it's dangerous.
How to spend
This
less,
thing could crash in any moment. That has
how to
happened.
live beneath your means. I'm the guy who knows how to do it, and I'm here to help you do it right now. Call me now, and I will answer your money questions. And here's where you call right now: 901-3000-TOM. 901
I like that. There are times when you move either direction and it still goes the same direction. It's the glitch. You're moving one way and it goes another, so you move the other way and it goes the same
Let
way.
us start this hour off with Matt in Pittsburgh. Matt, you're on the top.
This is beyond what I would normally tolerate. This is beyond the circumstances I would normally tolerate. It works like this. I quit. This made me buy a new machine a long time ago. But we're dealing with different problems here.
And I also had a job offer.
They definitely lie about the system's requirements. It would be nice. My suggestion to the poser company, if they weren't appearingly owned by an equity firm or a hedge fund firm, and they were actually owned by an innovative business owner that wanted to move the company in a progressive direction and make people happy. In a fantasy world like that, I would recommend that they actually realistically post the system requirements. Don't try to make it look like a computer that I'm using has more than enough, and which is what they did. Why don't they post what you really need? Why don't they just tell you the truth and say you really need to have something worth a lot more than you can get at Fry's with a lot more high speed, or build it yourself. But I guess if we're geeks enough and we're computer science experts, we should all know that. We should already know that. I mean, by now, I can't really call myself a very good computer science geek if I don't know the facts that these system requirements are pretty much lies.
And by the way, government doesn't guarantee anything either, okay? Because if you were a government worker in Detroit, for example, you got screwed.
Okay.
If you're in Vallejo, California,
See, from that angle, I might be able to make something like that work, and I'm probably ready to.
You got screwed, even if you're a government worker.
I know what I'm going to do.
Like you said, like what happened to your dad.
I've done this before. I'm going to make two different separate AVI clips.
Correct.
So right now I'm going to work on the camera angles.
It depends on your mentality. If you're one of those people who doesn't want to think about losing your job,
Okay, yeah.
doesn't want to worry about it,
Okay.
well, that might be the way to go. Maybe. Or maybe not.
Sample play.
I lean more towards being the tool and die maker and machinist, because it can lead into management. It can lead into becoming a engineering.
That's kind of a good movement.
And
I like that.
That offered me the apprenticeship to being tool die maker machinist. After I completed the apprenticeship, they would offer
I'm ready to just go with that.
college to go for engineering.
Well,
I'm gonna make one clip of
let's
that.
think about
I'm
your
gonna
life
cut
for a
that one
second.
right
You
there.
want to be limited by being in certain pay grades, by
There goes.
The limits that exist in government.
Exactly.
The amount of money that the taxpayers are willing to pay for.
I hit the
things.
cough button.
What would you prefer? Or would you like to have an unlimited?
I hope there was no coughing noise.
But again, you are taking a risk to get that. I took a
Make
lot of
movie?
risks to
Okay,
get
this
what
is
I
where you
got.
make the movie.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Like, I pretty much took your guidance, like you said, like when early on in your career, you jumped from one lily pad to another one to get the better job as you went along, until you were able to start your own business.
That's right.
And you invested and saved your money, and you were smart and wise. That's why you are where you're at today, by taking risks and trying different options to,
Why am I
like you
thinking
said,
about it?
constantly reinventing yourself.
Definitely need the nap. I can't even think about what I want to call this.
That's right. Now, here's the thing. Remember, when I was 8 years old, 12 years old, I stood in my parents' living room and said, I'm better than you. So it has to do with whether you believe that about yourself.
I do. And I'm not limited because I have no
Okay,
children,
so
I'm
I
not
called
married,
that.
And I'm available that I can take the one job offer being a machinist, get trained, and I can always move anywhere
It
in the
is.
country or anywhere
Going
in the
ahead.
world, for that matter, to another company.
Right?
I'm not
Save my
Mind,
movie.
If you take a government job, you can never live anywhere else.
Okay, what happened here?
Never. You are living there forever. Do you want to live in Pittsburgh forever?
No. It's a nice city, but I'd rather live somewhere warmer and somewhere else that I could go to the beach and a lot more other
What I just did now is normally something I would want to record, but not on this show. So I faded it out.
We finally got down to brass tacks. You don't want to run the risk of not having the opportunity to do whatever you want with your life. Once you lock in with the government,
Okay.
there's no going anywhere. You don't even like the one I talked to the most.
There isn't anything going on. Yeah, this is me.
Feel appreciated.
I'm narrating the 20. My other stream's way behind. So it's only 12 frames right now, and it has to make 400. Obviously, I'm not going to just sit here and play the show I'm listening to.
So teachers tend to keep living in the
So
same
for now, I'm
place
going to cut it off, and then I'm going to come back when this finishes and make a very short clip about what it looks like.
Look at my life. I live
So right now,
3,000
it's
miles from where I grew up.
burning in a movie. For my animation, it's making a little raw clip.
I'd still be living there.
I'm going to make that raw clip, and then I'm going to come at it an entirely different way. I'm just going to start the animation right where the hand is up and the body's where it is, and then I'm just going to make another one. And it won't be parented. It'll just be able to just slide right in, and that'll be good.
That's what they're all about.
It's just a very simple way to show how I make these. So, if anybody had been listening and the stream had not been telling me this, I want to thank you. And this will resume about 15 to 20, maybe a half hour. It's going to take it a little while. It's very slow. So for now, thank you for listening.